organizations, and just kind of to help shed the light on what's to come. So what I always like to do when I start these is kind of go around the room, introduce yourself if you don't mind, and tell us what you do and if you're using AI, if you're not using it, if you are using it, maybe you could share just a little bit about how you're using it so that we can, I always like to kind of collaborate, have this very interactive, so we can all learn from each other. And then just introduce yourself, maybe like a little 3-minute speech on where you're at with AI. So Ron, would you like to start?
Okay. I'm Sherry Houghton, and we are, I'm in real estate, and I'm in, we are, well, she's in real estate also, but I run the real estate side of it. And we are local, nationwide, and we are international, and we also belong to a global network, so it helps us with companies all over the world, around the world, and even agents in these countries are boots on the ground, so that's what helps us. And I'm AI certified, and I have a lot of interest in it. Using AI with our real estate business, it helps me with listing presentations, buyer presentations, all this kind of stuff. It's just amazing. So that's pretty much everything I do.
Hello everyone, I'm Noi. I'm a financial professional and I never used AI before. I'm more focusing on helping the business owner lowering their business taxes.
Hello everyone, my name is Alan Basha. I'm a consultant, primarily in the product and design space for digital. So startups, big businesses, everything in between. Been a volunteer mentor with NCU EI, and I've been using AI for quite some time. So currently I've been really focused on Claude. It's been my main AI helper, and then just using AI dev tools.
Thank you.
Hello, good morning, everyone. My name is Malcolm Marzette, animated motion graphics producer, also consultant. Things have really been ramping up since I've been using AI about a year and a half, but just prompt engineering and how I've just dived straight into that has really like built up my business. So I just try to connect with all the community, whether it's like entrepreneur networks or film networks, or even up late night writing scripts. I use predominantly AIs that I use Claude if I'm trying to like organize certain things and present certain things, whether it's like a presentation or a pitch. But DeepSeek is really, it's a Chinese one. And we'll go into that if you want. But DeepSeek is really nice. It's free for like just framing models in general. So just happy to be here.
What was your name again? I'm sorry.
Oh, Malcolm Marzette.
Malcolm.
Yes.
Thank you, Malcolm.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Karen Kirby. Nice, Karen. I have a software data analytics background. I'm working on a supply chain software startup. I've been using AI for different things. Productivity for me as part of the software platform and as a part of the strategy of AI with the software platform. So,
Thank
good to
you.
be here. Thank you.
Hello. I probably don't even need this. I'm quite a loud talker, but Sean Lair, Brian and I are part of an energy storage startup. So I use AI extensively on outlines, asking certain questions instead of searching Google and looking down, finding my solution on the third page. I can go to my 3 AIs and ask the questions that I want to know, or if I all of a sudden think of something about traveling somewhere, AI just gives a great outline of what I need to know. So AI, I've only been using AI for probably a year now since I ended my last position at my job and then started this startup, but it's been great. I can't wait to see what's to come.
What three are you using right now?
I use Gemini,
Okay.
I use ChatGPT, and I use Grok.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Hello, my name is Brian Gedkin, and I'm with E2 Energy right now. I got certified as a data analyst about 2 years ago, and I think that was kind of the initiation of when I started getting involved in AI-related things. I think I had started with Copilot. Oh, that's not how I got involved with it. I was using Copilot to help create VBA scripts to generate data sets, which I could then practice and use for client work to do data analyst work, mostly more business intelligence. And that's how I kind of started. But since then, as part of it, doing a startup, and even before that, I used it extensively to help me develop all sorts of things for an engineering firm where we were doing product development, developing a great product development roadmap. And ever since, we've been developed business plans and very deep dive marketing analysis, go-to-market plans, things like that. Principally, I've been using ChatGPT, and I'm curious to learn a little bit more about Claude. I don't know if others are using that platform, but I have no experience with it at this point.
Great, thank you. Great, thank you. Can everyone hear me okay? I
Yeah.
prefer not to use a mic, et cetera. Okay, good.
Yeah, we can hear you.
So, anyway, I kind of went through this first slide here. What I want to do is basically, it sounds like everyone in this room is already using AI, maybe to some different degrees. So I try to, I do try to set the foundation so that, I don't know if there's a great understanding out there of really where we're headed with AI. So I think it's important to, even at whatever level we're at with AI, to kind of understand what's to come. So I do try to cover that, and I'll be providing you with some ideas for everyday workflow. Now, some of this might just be super simple because you're already using AI. So just kind of hang in there. Hopefully it's not too simple for you, but it'll maybe introduce some new tools that you haven't been using. So that's kind of my hope, is that someone will get something out of this, everyone will get something out of it. So it's about really having AI as part of your everyday vocabulary, really. It's about really embracing it. And it's really about, how do I set myself apart in any industry, that whether I'm self-employed or I work for a company, is really about future-proofing your future. Because we're going to see new jobs created, but we're also going to see jobs replaced because of it. So it really is about adopting an AI mindset. So I always talk about it as like AI-ify yourself, or AI enabler. I like to call myself an AI enabler, providing the business owner with tools that they can start using right away. I created this AI Literacy Project 360. I have a real passion for helping small business owners and helping them embrace and understand and not be intimidated by it, and just understanding that, hey, anyone can really use AI. It's just a matter of where you start. So we're going to hopefully clear up a little bit of that and provide you with some simple ideas. So today's agenda, I thought I'd go ahead and outline this for you. We're going to talk a little bit about the insights of AI, some of the obvious things that are being used in AI right now that we all encounter every day, which whether we realize it or not. We're going to also be talking about some latest industry updates. I also have a small little tool stack that I'm going to show you a little demo so you can start using AI in your business or even personal. And then we're going to do a little interactive showcase, and then we're going to talk about some future paths in AI. So I want to talk a little bit about who I am first, what qualifies me to stand up in front of this podium and talk about this. I have been embraced in AI for the last few years, and I started by getting an AI certification in a specific vertical. And when I was introduced to it, it was mainly focused on marketing. And so I spent a lot of time using AI in my marketing for my business, but then I saw that there was so much more out there than just marketing. And it seems like the marketing end of it is like almost like the low-hanging fruit with AI. There's so much more to it. So when I realized that, I decided I wanted to take my career further, and I became certified as a Chief AI Officer through the International Association of Chief AI Officers. So that really opened up my mind to all the opportunities, all the possibilities of AI. So since that time, I've been speaking at various events. I have clients, all different verticals right now, where I'm actually an AI consultant. So I help them, I give them a roadmap. So we look at their business and we decide, okay, here's what we have, where does AI fit in? So that's my main role when I'm working with clients. Here's some of the opportunities that I've had. I've done some speaking through some networking groups, some real estate groups, SCORE, which is an entrepreneur group, also ASU, where we are today. Also Social Media Pro, which is a very large social media platform. I've done some training on tools like HeyGen, if anyone has heard of HeyGen. You guys heard of HeyGen? Okay. So all different verticals, all different people are interested in AI right now, so I really try to provide a high level understanding of, how to use the tools when does it make sense. So I've been a consultant for about 30 years. I started in e-learning. I started working with an online university. I worked for one of the very first online, I'm going to show my age now. I worked for one of the very first online universities, and I was actually a usability tester. So we tested all of the behind the scenes, how users were understanding how to use the platform. So we did tests on the users. We would have volunteers come in, and then we would have them on camera, and we would test their motion, how they were clicking on things, their eyeball movement, all these things. That's when we were designing e-learning platforms. And I had an opportunity to work under a very renowned usability tester, usability Pulitzer Prize winner. So that was where I started e-learning, and then I moved into corporate. From education, I moved into corporate, and I was an e-learning strategist. And I just see so many parallels with e-learning and AI. It's just amazing how it's kind of like things go full circle. So as soon as I saw AI, I'm just like, it was a calling for me to add the AI piece to my knowledge base. So that's my background. I've got, in addition to that, I'm a certified AI marketing officer. I'm a certified AI consultant. I just really embrace education every chance I get. In fact, I'm in the middle of renewing my AI certification as we speak. So every time I do it, there's something new. So I really embrace change and trying to stay a little bit ahead, even though that's really difficult with AI, so that when I have clients come to me, I can, talk with them intelligently about what's to come, maybe this isn't current anymore, maybe you want to look at this. So those are some of my accolades that I have. So with that said, we're going to cover some super basic stuff. What is generative AI? I'm pretty sure everyone pretty much knows what it is in this room. But just for precautionary measures, we're just going to go through it. So generative AI, it uses neural networks and deep learning algorithms, and it analyzes patterns. And some of the examples would be LLMs, which are language learning models, which is like your ChatGPT, your Claude, Grok, that type of thing. And then you can also create images like Midjourney, Ideogram. Maybe some of you have played around with those a little bit. And then audio, video. They're all content creators. So that is the very basics of generative AI. I don't need to spend a lot of time on the history of it. That's not why we're here today. Automates tasks. So we know that generative AI can process terabytes of data in seconds. It's super fast. You know, when you think about how fast it can output some very basic prompts, it's just amazing. So the speed of it is just incredible. You can draft emails, you can create reports, you can do a number of things. You can create blogs. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on. And of course, it enhances your productivity. That is the beauty of AI. Studies have been shown that it boosts productivity by 40 to 60%. So I'm sure you've all experienced it by using AI. You see how it really does make you much, much more efficient in what you're already doing. And it frees you up to do other things. So the convenience of it and the efficiency, and if you start to think about your business and where can I incorporate AI into my business, really it's pretty amazing opportunities. Here's some everyday AI. Everyone probably is aware, you know, we've got chatbots and we've got AI agents. Chatbots are they're your reactive chat. So if you've got if you're like let's say you're in the T-Mobile website or something, you've all experienced a chatbot where you have a question and you see these like templated answers. That's the chatbot. Some of them are chatbots and some of them are actually AI agents. And the difference between a chatbot and an AI agent, you've got reactive, proactive. So when you have a chatbot, it's reactive. When you have a AI agent, think of it as proactive. It's anticipating what you're going to ask it, or it's giving you suggestions before you even ask. So that's the difference between a chatbot and an AI agent. And it's all about what's behind the scenes, what's going on behind the scenes. So it's either, it's how it's set up in the automation. So some use cases might be virtual shopping, maybe booking a trip, customer service, maybe an appointment scheduler, and so on. Then we also have AI-driven analytics. This is where it gets kind of fun, where you can actually forecast trends, and it will help you make informed decisions. It can also uncover insights, and it can predict. So that's a really interesting part of AI with the AI-driven analytics. Some interesting examples, they might be retail and e-commerce. They're predicting the demand and they're forecasting what customers might want in the future by looking at history, by predicting. And then some of them are also healthcare. Those could be risky. So that's all about making sure you've got guardrails, compliance, that type of thing. So AI-driven analytics is really an exciting category within AI And, I think it takes a real specialist to be able to do that really good. The next is automated document processing. You can extract data, you can do validation, you can do workflow automation. For example, you can process invoices, patient intake forms, and then contract review. That's an interesting one. You can do contract review. So that's a tricky one because you want to make sure, contracts, privacy, that type of thing. So you want to make sure that you're using the right LLM that's protecting your privacy, whether you're working with a client or it's your information. So those are some things to think about when you're adding a contract into an LLM. Is this secure? It's always something you want to have in mind whenever you put anything sensitive into an LLM. Any comments so far? Okay, so AI applications, there's shifts in the workplace. We're definitely seeing different technologies that are coming about. We're seeing, workflows that are being created as we speak. Those are, through blockchains, VR reshaping. We're also seeing enabling remote and hybrid work. That's really exciting for a lot of us that are self-employed, and we work remotely. So a lot of opportunity where we have these collaborative tools, we have virtual environments, and it provides a lot more flexibility in the workplace. Some growth sectors are energy, fintech, healthcare, real estate, clean energy. I mean, really, and the industry growth sectors, they're growing. It's not just energy anymore. It's not just real estate. This is just the beginning. This is just the very beginning of what's to come. New roles and job functions. There's AI specialists. You can be an AI specialist. You can be an ethics specialist, governance and compliance. You can be a data interpreter with AI. There's just a lot of opportunities in AI where you can start to figure out what is your expertise, what is your domain, because we need AI experts. We need people that have been, this is not necessarily for someone just graduated from college. This is someone that's already got this wealth of knowledge, and now they want to take it to the next level with AI. So it's something to think about as a more experienced person in the workplace, that there's so many opportunities, even for people that have been doing, let's say, marketing for years. And I met a lady recently. She had been in marketing for 30 years, and she came to an AI event, and she's very hesitant about AI. She didn't want to learn AI, but she was looking for a job. And if you don't have AI on your resume, you're not going to be considered. You have to have AI skill sets. That's where we're headed. You want to have AI skill sets on your resume. So think about that as you're actually working, you're marketing yourself, maybe you're applying for jobs. Keep adding to your knowledge of AI, because that is going to set you apart from someone that is a little more resistant. Maybe you have 30 years in an industry, but really you want to have that AI as an added feature for sure. And this just kind of solidifies what I'm saying here. There's been several studies. This study indicates that 71% of employers prefer AI skills. So Forbes reports and employers favor AI skills over experience in hiring decisions. Think about that. They want AI experience, they want AI skills over experience. So whatever industry you're in, add the AI to it. 40% increased efficiency. We know it adds, the automation, it increases efficiency, and it just allows us to focus on strategic tasks rather than repetitive. So if you're looking at your own business and you're trying to identify where does AI fit in, you want to start with having a conversation with ChatGPT, for example, and having ChatGPT help you kind of brainstorm. Have it help you brainstorm, where does AI fit into my business? If you have a business plan, upload that into Chat. Have Chat review it and say, now, what areas of my business can I start to incorporate or introduce AI? So you would start by building your business plan out and then just add it into Chat and have it help you with that. 30% revenue increase. Companies report 30% average revenue increase after they implement AI solutions. And more companies are absolutely jumping on the wagon here. Here's another report, Forbes, AI skills in high demand. Again, 71% prefer hiring candidates with AI skills. Hiring requirements, 65% of business leaders won't consider candidates who lack AI knowledge. Job market growth. Generative AI-related job postings have increased. I've noticed that you go on LinkedIn and you put in the keyword AI consultant, AI trainer, AI, anything AI in front of it, and the jobs are starting to really, really grow. So figure out what your domain is and figure out, okay, maybe look at those job postings and see what employers are looking for when it comes to AI. Career impact. Worker awareness. 76% acknowledge the need for AI skills to stay competitive. That's why you're here today. Congratulations, it's triple-digit weather. Thank you for coming, I appreciate it. We have a small crowd today, but that's okay, I love a small crowd. So these are things that we want to be aware of as we're moving forward in AI. Here's another report, World Economics. New job creation. 170 million new jobs will be created by 2030. Think about that, that's incredible. Advanced economies will see a 60% of jobs exposed to AI. Role displacement. 92 million current roles will be displaced. Emerging markets will see 40% of jobs exposed to AI. Reskilling needs. These are all research. These are all real numbers. This is 2024 World Economics. We're in 2025 now. Those numbers have only increased. 44% of workers will need reskilling within 5 years. You're in the right place. You're definitely in the right place. Low-income countries will see a 26% of jobs exposed to AI. So it's happening everywhere. It's not just in the United States. Okay, here's where the most vulnerable jobs are right now. As of World Economics, March 2025, these are the most vulnerable jobs that are going to be exposed to AI. AI and big data analysis, that's reading, writing, math, translators, stat analysts. Those can easily be taken over by AI. Marketing, we've seen that. We've already seen it. That's really where the low-hanging fruit is, marketing. We've got all kinds of video creation tools, image creators, and they're getting better and better. They're getting better and better. So what existed 2 years ago is by far so much better now. And they're only going to get better. So what we see today is the worst AI we're going to see. It's only going to get better. Basic programming, junior software developers, bug testers. These are all things where AI is actually taking these jobs away. We ran into a gentleman not long ago. He was with GoDaddy for 15 years, and he was middle management, software engineer. He got laid off. His team, most of his team, laid off because they're bringing in AI. So it's really, like I said, it's so important that you learn AI and become AI-ified. It's part of your everyday vocabulary. When you're thinking about solving a problem in your business, think about AI. How can AI help me? Financial management, accountants, payroll clerks, financial analysts. Again, that's something that AI can do. It's just, it's just amazing. And then detail-oriented work, data entry, proofreaders, admin. Think about all the automations that are being created now. All of these things can be done with AI, and for a fraction of the cost of paying an employee. It's just, it's amazing. Once you have the systems in place, you may have to update them every now and then. You have a good IT person that you're in alignment with, that can help you with those updates and make sure that you're in compliance, make sure that your systems are up to date, and that's much less than what you would have to pay an employee to do. I want to give you some examples of what's going on today with big employers. Shopify. He told the CEO of Shopify, said that the fundamental expectation of employees was that they needed to embrace AI in their daily work. So he said to his employees, prove to me this job cannot be done with AI. If you can prove to me this job cannot be done with AI, then you can hire someone. Then you can hire someone. So they have to prove how AI won't work. This is pretty astounding. This just came out. Business Insider just laid off 21% of its staff, and AI was a major factor. So here's one where the CEO sent an email out to the staff, and the central pivot of their organization. It's for those that you don't know, Business Leader is a publication. And so the business leader said, if you're not using AI, you've got to have full adoption. They framed that layoffs, they're not intentional. It's just business. So we're seeing more and more companies. Every day I'm on LinkedIn and I'm seeing companies, big companies, enterprise level companies, that are adopting AI in a big, big way. But here's the good news. You can control it. You can absolutely control your future by embracing AI. This is something that the gentleman from Insider wrote. I think there is a near-term opportunity for people to go figure this stuff out and accelerate your own career growth. So there's so many opportunities, like I mentioned earlier, that everyone can absolutely embrace. So with that said, I'm going to get into the tools a little bit. But I think it's important to understand where we're headed. This isn't just, this isn't just like have fun with it, play with it. I think I'll go take a picture of what's in my refrigerator, have it cook a meal for me, come up with a recipe. This is real stuff. This is happening at enterprise level, and small businesses are going to really have to really embrace AI, because they've got to stay competitive with these big companies that have these big budgets. So this empowers small businesses, in my opinion. It really does empower small businesses, because think about the budget that an enterprise company has. They have millions to spend. But now, small businesses, you don't need millions. You need a budget, but you can do a modest budget and get started with AI in your business. And that's where it all begins. You start to get more acclimated with it, you start to understand it, you start to use small tool stacks, keep it real simple. So think about that when you're moving forward with your career. I wanted to cover just a few ChatGPT alternatives. We've got Claude, we've got Perplexity. Has anyone used Perplexity? A little bit? Okay. Perplexity, I really like it. It's a, you know what Claude is, but Perplexity is kind of like it aggregates all these different LLMs, and then it pulls up your search criteria. I like doing that when I'm doing research. Think of it as a replacement for Google. So like when you go to Google, you might type up a search, and you're looking for, you know, the top dentist in Mesa, Arizona. And it's gonna have a list, it's gonna have a map, it's gonna have, you gotta start clicking on things. You know, usually don't go past the first page of Google. With Perplexity, you can do the same thing, and it's gonna aggregate everything for you and give you the answer. So if you put in top, let's say dentist, for example. I'm looking for a top dentist that specializes in root canals in the Mesa area, that's inexpensive, that caters to, or maybe caters to children, or whatever. You can put in a very detailed search, and it's going to bring in your top 3. If you ask for the top 3, it's going to bring in your top 3, and that's it. You don't have to keep searching and clicking on buttons, and you know, it's all going to come up for you. I like to compare it to going to the library. When you go to the library, you are looking for a book. You go to the card catalog, you go down the aisles, you look for the aisle number, you look for the book. Think of it as, instead of doing that, you walk right up to the librarian and you say, this is what I'm looking for. And they go, here you go. That's how I compare Google to Perplexity. So it's a very quick way to search. Try it out. It's free. They have a paid version, but I would encourage you to try it out. There's also some other LLMs, Bing Chat, Llama, which is by Meta, and then Microsoft Copilot. I have a question for everyone. Do you know the difference between LLMs and AI? Does anyone know the difference? Can anyone take a stab at it?
Would be a specific type of
Yeah, so ChatGPT, OpenAI, which is LLM, which is AI. ChatGPT, OpenAI.
OpenAI is the LLM. I got it reversed.
The opposite. Yeah, so think of a wrapper or skin. So you have OpenAI is the AI. ChatGPT is a layer over it. And then anything you see out there, like when you're talking with companies and they're selling you their product, it's skin over AI.
Right, but I would almost consider that the LLM is part of the AI engine, it's just a different part
Well,
of the.
OpenAI is the engine,
Right,
and then it feeds into the LLM, which is
but
ChatGPT.
ChatGPT is just the conduit to get you access to it.
Right.
So ChatGPT isn't intelligent in itself, it's just relaying and translating what's happening between the UI and the user
Yep.
and OpenAI. So there is
Yeah.
no
So it's feeding it.
LLM, there is no LLM with ChatGPT, right?
ChatGPT is the LLM. Yes. Yes. Okay, so here's another one. How about Llama? Llama Meta. Llama is the, yes. Yes. Meta is the company that owns. Yes, you're correct. Okay, so those are just some things to think about. When you're starting to understand AI and LLMs and like, what the heck are all these things, you know? fun stuff. Does anyone have any, anything they wanna add or questions or anything? Yes, Brian,
So like, on that list, even a couple slides back of like the, I guess, industries that are kind of taking over, and this kind of leads into this AI presentation thing. Data security, where does that kind of lie?
data security?
Yeah, because I kind of see that, that's, I don't want to go on a fringe or any black hole, but like every time I learn more AI, and like
Yeah.
the people I know, like nationally, internationally, then they say like on the other side of that, it's like
Right.
the viruses, the data security, all of that stuff is also
Yeah,
ramping
so,
up too.
no, that's a great point. So when you're looking at the different LLMs, read the terms and conditions. And see if your data can be shared, okay? I would definitely do that when you're using deep search.
Oh, well, I use it.
Yeah, I would definitely check into that, because any,
Everything.
yeah, I mean, like Manus
That's
is
a weird
another
question.
one. Manus is a Chinese owned company.
Gotcha.
So you want to make sure that you're safe. And I would not use any, I would look at the terms and conditions.
This is a personal question.
Yeah,
It's just a question, it's general. That was not present
Yeah.
on the list of all industries you said.
Especially-
Are even, but there is security and AI industries that are relevant. I've just seen them kind of, the ones that are currently here now, I've seen them kind of go away as well.
well, and especially if you're using any free versions, your data is not safe. You want to be using it very minimum paid version. And then look at the terms and conditions. And then also, if you're working for an organization, at the mid-market or enterprise level, you always want to have, standard operating procedures in place. You want to have guardrails in place so that you don't have what we call shadow users within your organization. So we know that a lot of employees are currently using AI, but they're not using it under the guardrails. So that's a dangerous place to be for employers. So if you have a staff or anything, you want to make sure that at the very high level, that you have management involved in the everyday AI that's being used and have those guardrails. So it's super important as we move forward and more people are using AI. But no, data security is a big thing for sure. Yeah. Anything else? Okay, so, all right, so here's some tools that I wanted to introduce to you today. AI for presentations and video image creation. Is anyone familiar with Gamma? Anyone using Gamma? You're familiar with it? Okay, good. Okay, so Gamma is in fact, I'm using it right now. I'm using Gamma, and I'm gonna show you how that works. And you're gonna love it. You're gonna absolutely love it when you see it. You're gonna go, oh my gosh, I don't have to create PowerPoints anymore. You know how long those things take to make? Yeah, so Prezi is another equivalent. Beautiful AI is another one. But I like Gamma. You can create presentations on the fly with it, with some really easy prompts, and putting your content in there, it's gonna all populate everything for you. It's really great. Ideogram. Has anyone used Ideogram? Okay, that is actually an image creation. You just punch in a prompt, and it's going to give you a variety of different images you can choose from. In video, it's the same thing as Ideogram, only it's going to create videos for you. So you can type in a prompt. The better the prompt, the better the image, or the better the video. So you always want to think about that. And then Canva. I'm sure everyone's heard of Canva. Is that everyone? Okay. Yeah, Canva. So they've added some AI features in there, which is really pretty nice. I use that quite frequently. I enjoy using it. I enjoy using it.
It's Photoshop or something?
Was that
This does Photoshop or something?
Photoshop?
And it does have AI.
They might have AI, I don't,
Within Adobe,
Yeah.
there's Adobe Firefly, which
Oh.
has elements of that, and also Reality. It's all Adobe.
yeah. I try to keep it really basic, because there's so many tools out there. I mean, you could just totally get lost in the sea of tools, it's crazy, it's just insane. I have my favorite, and then depending on what your role is in your company, you know, you'll find which ones you resonate with the most. But I like showing these because they're just so simple and basic, and anyone can use them. Is anyone using any meeting note takers? Any Fathom or anything like that? Are you using Fathom or Otter? Okay. Okay.
Read AI or something?
Yeah, yeah. So Fathom is a really great meeting note taker. If you're on a Zoom call, it will record your meeting, and when it's over, it's going to email you a transcription of the meeting and a video. So you can review the video after the meeting. I love doing that because if I'm talking with a client, I don't remember everything we talked about, you know? I want to focus on the client. So then I can go back and I can review the transcription, I can review the video, and the really neat part about it is I can take the transcription from that meeting and I can put it into AI, ChatGPT, and I can put it into AI and I can say, summarize this meeting for me and write me a follow-up email to my client. Boom. You can get it done so quickly rather than trying to figure out how do I want to follow up with this client? You know, what am I going to say? You know, it's like a really great shortcut. So you can literally have a email back to your client within 20, 30 minutes and go, wow, how did they do that so fast? You know, you can summarize your meeting super fast. So these are some really great ways you can leverage AI. So simple. Okay. Is anyone familiar with curated prompting? Okay. So curated prompting is scalable. So think about when you build a prompt. I think you mentioned you're a prompt engineer. Okay. So when you're building out a prompt, think about placeholders. Okay. So you have a template of whatever subject matter it is. Let's say you're a marketing rep, you're a marketing person or a salesperson, and you always have the same scenario with a client, but it's a different client, right? It's a different client. That's where your container would be, the name of the client, right? And then it might be you're trying to solve a problem for your client. That could be another container. But your template is always going to be the same, and I'm going to show you what that looks like, okay? And then what you can do is you can reuse that scalable prompt. It's going to be there for you on the fly. It's going to be there for you super quickly. You can have a whole library of scalable prompts. So it's going to really short circuit your job task. When you have these containers that you simply fill in. Does that make sense to everyone? Okay. So you can reuse the same high quality prompt. You can just structure it across different marketing campaigns, for example. It maintains consistency. So we talked about guardrails, we talked about compliance, we talked about working for a company where your boss says, I need you to stay within this framework. This is an example of what a framework might look like, is scalable prompts. Perfect for creating consistent webinars, social media content, follow-up campaigns, name it. Okay. We're going to get into what we're going to do next. I'm going to show you some demos, I promise. We have a real use case got a heating and air conditioning company. This owner of the company, he's got 100 technicians out there, right? And the techs, they lack knowledge on providing energy saving tips to customers, right? This is what he's realizing with his 100 techs out there. I've got a problem because my techs are not communicating with my customers energy saving tips. And so the problem is he recognizes an inconsistent message from his tech team. And he really wants to maintain his customers. So he's kind of seeing customers go, he's losing customers because the technicians aren't necessarily providing value. So he wants to help his technicians understand what's the good message I need to send to my tech so that they can convey it to my clients. Here's the challenge. He wants to have an emergency 60-minute webinar. He realizes I gotta get these techs on board. He needs to train all his technicians on a consistent message. And he wants to focus on energy efficient renewable solutions. Now, if I work for this boss and he came to me on the marketing rep or an assistant, I'm having a meeting in 20 minutes, put a presentation together. What do you do, right? Okay. That's where our scalable prompts come in. Okay? So here's the initial prompt framework we already have at the top. Create a webinar on containers learning objective, which increases brand awareness, targeting, and then we've got another bracket. Who's the audience, who's the customer, right? Need guidance on structuring the webinar's content, creating the slides for, we're going to put the container, depending on how long the webinar is, okay? Presentation with a focus on engaging audience effectively. Additionally, in a PDF, I'd like an outline on post-webinar follow-up strategies, okay? That would be invaluable to maintain engagement and measure the success of the event. Again, we've got our customer audience. Specifically, I'm interested in including the most engaging types of content for the We've Got Our audience. So you can use that for so many applications, right? Then we fill in the containers. We're going to create a webinar on renewable energy savings, tips, aiming to achieve cost savings for ABC HVAC customers, which increase brand awareness targeting. Again, we've got our containers in the purple. Need guidance on structuring the webinar's content, creating slides for 60 minutes, right? Would be invaluable, blah, blah, blah. So you see we have our containers filled in with what we're looking for. You can have a library of curated prompts ready to go when your boss says, I need you to, come up with a marketing campaign, I need you to, whatever it might be. So that's curated prompt. I don't know anyone that teaches this, to be honest with you. Yes?
I guess this gets deeper into your personal ideology on curated prompts like this.
Yeah.
How much of a sense of urgency do you place before or after the brackets? And then, do you just, similarly to what you spoke about before, you take like your coverage from an interview or a conversation, and you put that into ChatGPT with your questions? Do you do that as well?
Yes.
With this collaboration?
You can.
We call it kit bashing.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can.
I just wanted to make sure. 'Cause
Yeah.
That's the way I look at this prompt engineering. Like you said, no one teaches this, and I'm like, I don't know. That's just how my brain kind of works. But emphasis on the sense of urgency. Like,
Right.
how do you
Right.
have? What is your perspective on that? Because to me, when I'm given this by a boss, right? I got 20 minutes.
Right.
Right. I have to create that sense of urgency. I notice the more, I guess, personable and the more authentic my story is when I implement my
Yeah.
prompt. And then on the back end, I reference like
what are the past 30 years of sales, top companies, people that have this
Yeah.
problem, can you reference that? And then simplify it, because it's somebody on the lower level, like, it has to be as simple as an down payment,
Right.
right?
So there's different use cases for prompting, right? There's different use cases for prompting, right? So in this example, you may have a large turnover in your company,
Right.
and you want a consistent message. So the boss, he's got a library of curated prompts. That would be that instance where you want a consistent message. And you're referring to storytelling, which is completely different.
Okay.
Storytelling is really a whole different methodology of prompting. And we can talk about that a little bit.
Gotcha.
But this is more for consistency, it's for repeatable applications. And so think about it like, you know, you don't have time to manage your office staff, but you want to get this done.
Right.
So you send them to your library of curated prompts.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see what
Yeah,
you're saying.
so that would be a use case for
I
it.
got you.
Yeah,
So where is your library of prompts? Like, what are you doing today to store all of that and organize it?
That's a good question.
well, I have a prompt vault, I call it prompt vault, and I have hundreds of prompts.
Right, but where are they physically located on your machine? Are they in an
No, you
application or
create
no?
them, you create them.
So are they in
Excel
your
file, Word
workflow?
file somewhere?
Yeah, you can put them in you can actually put them in your chat, actually. You could even create a custom GPT, and you could put them in there. Yes,
I was gonna ask you, that's a good question.
yeah,
Because how
I keep mine, I run like a Obsidian or another like note-taking app, right? Even when I'm running this AI
Yep.
or through this LLM, I'll go to that original prompt that I like, that I know is giving me the output I want,
Yeah.
then I put that. It's almost like a backup to a backup.
Right.
It's just because
Yes.
this is knowledge and wisdom from
No, I'm
music
serious.
and phones.
I've been
That's
doing
how
the
it is.
same with Claude, and with Claude you have projects.
yes.
So whenever I have something that I like, I'll add it to the project and I'll go back.
That was the other suggestion.
Yeah.
I was gonna have chat have some projects also. So you could build out a project. You know, you could put, you know, project webinars, you know, another project might be operations, whatever, wherever you wanna put it. And then you put your knowledge base in it, and then that will be the container for it.
This is an interesting use case because in like in corporate, you really try and focus on SOPs to make you not have to think about the repetitive tasks, you focus strategically, which is
Right.
the whole point of this. But people in the moment that have 20 minutes to put together this prompt, they probably don't have this already created. So there's really a mind shift that like
Yeah.
you come into an organization or right now you're between jobs, you need to start creating all these curated prompts, and it's like your toolkit that you can carry around with you whenever
Yeah.
you're going.
And it's
Well,
extremely valuable.
yeah, I mean-
Yeah.
Scenario comes.
And that's where, like,
And I'm not sharing it with you.
yeah.
Well,
And that too is like where training comes in. You know, like you have onboard training for companies, like this could be part of the onboarding of a company, like a company owner, they're getting their staff AI-ified. And so this would be part of the training that someone like myself would provide. We'd come up with a custom training program for them. We'd come up with our prompts, our curated prompts, and that would be getting everyone on board in a consistent manner. So that would be something, it's not something that happens overnight. It's something that needs to be built over time. And it might even be,
How would you value that?
how you what?
How would you value that? You train those people, you create this, you said, oh, you know, that's how, nobody teaches this.
Yeah, I mean, that-
What was your value of that?
Well, that would be a whole
Right?
other conversation. Yeah, that
I would take the same curated prompt
Yeah.
and put it in 3 different LLMs
Yeah.
and compare the outputs. And then
Yes.
see what differences came out, which
Yeah.
I like better for that context. And then I might have 3 different people do 3 different versions of the prompt with the leading LLM after that. to look at variances in writing style and see what comes out best.
I hear that. Unless they just say, list the value of this, I have the curated prompt.
That becomes your IP.
Right.
I know how to draw 3D animated objects and liquid design. That's your special tool, your special, it's just like some of the leadership. I have a special way of managing creatives that no one else can. I have my own secret sauce. It's, that goes on your resume, it's your own IP to sell yourself. Intellectual property.
Yes,
I see it as an incredible way to accelerate and personalize non-work.
yes, definitely. Yeah. So this is just one way of prompting. There's other ways to prompt. This I really like. And you can start to build out your library. Once you could even have a conversation with chat and just say, build me a curated prompt for, and then give it the framework, and it will help you build it. You can even do that. Just make sure you're using the right version of ChatGPT or whichever LLM you're using. So now we've got this down. Now what I want to do is I want to show it to you in action. Let me go back, let me go to the document. So here's the document I've got here. Here's the same document. I'm going to copy and paste this. Even with glasses on, I have to close up. All right. Okay, here's my chat. What I'm going to do for this particular exercise is I'm just going to use version 4.0, simply because it's quicker. If you're doing any type of deep research, this is a really great tool, 03. But for this, it does take longer. It takes longer with 03, whatever you're trying to generate. But we don't need to use that for this exercise. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to put that in to ChatGPT, right? And then,
Can we change it?
what's that?
Can we change it?
You want to change
Can we
it?
change presentation to podcast?
So
here's the use case, because I've actually lived this use case.
see, I'm going to show you in Gamma. Gamma doesn't have a podcast feature, but that's.
Let her do her thing.
No, sorry, I'm just
No,
asking.
no,
I'm asking.
there's
You're right.
probably-
The answer is no.
There's probably a podcast, a podcast app that you could do this in,
Oh, yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But Gamma, they don't have that. They have webinar, they have website, presentations, PDF documents, and social media. Those are the ones that they have, the platforms. But, okay, so here's the assistant. She's like, okay, I've got 20 minutes. Okay, so it's telling us how long each slide is going to be. It's going to show us some wrap-up, post-webinar tools. Okay, so let's take a look at this here. All right. There's our total, there's our webinar, right? It's a little bit bigger. Okay, here's the title of our webinar, Power Saving Renewable Energy. It gave us the title. It gave us all we did was we pasted that curation into ChatGPT. We've got structure, slide breakdown, we've got all this great stuff here. Slide energy, cost and industry trends, quick wins. This is the slide that the assistant now is going to put in for the boss and have this presentation ready in the next few minutes. So we're gonna just kind of breeze over this. Normally, what I would do, if this were real life, I would probably put this in a document, maybe edit it a little bit, maybe with some personal information about, maybe make it a little more real This is just for demonstration purposes to show you what it can do. Then we've got a wrap up. Okay, at the bottom here, remember I asked it to, provide me with some post-webinar follow-up? So here's some suggestions on how to follow up after the webinar. So I've got these things here, send an email, recording, and PDF document. So remember I talked about Fathom? So you record the call, right? Now you've got the transcript, and you can put that transcript into a PDF document, and you can send it to your text, for example. You can include some surveys, offer incentives, there's all these different things you can do. You can set up an email campaign. They have your week 1, week 2, week 3. Week 1, they're suggesting maybe send out the top 3 tips. Week 2, keep top of mind with the technicians because they're gonna forget. They're gonna be out working with customers, they're gonna forget what they learned. So this is a great way to create something right away, so you have it ready to send off right after the meeting, okay? Ongoing engagement, here's some examples. And then, we've got some other ideas about, reinforced messaging around technician impact. All of these ideas are for the boss now. And he can say, okay, let's set up an email campaign. Let's create some videos. Now you can even create videos using AI. You don't have to be the front person, like I mentioned HeyGen earlier. HeyGen is a great video product where you have an avatar. I'm going with this sideways, but I love it. I love HeyGen. So HeyGen is you create an avatar and you can create videos simply by putting a script in, selecting an avatar, and then your avatar speaks to the script. So it could be just an avatar that you pick from a menu. It doesn't have to be you, but it can be you. So it could be the boss saying, hey, you could record the boss, a 3-minute sample, and then you can use that. That's repurposing content. So that's something you can do to keep the message out to your employees. So let's do this real quick. Boy, time flies. Okay, let me do this. I want to show you Gamma. I want to show you the magic of Gamma. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to copy this.
Dennis Church's team has some of the greatest slides.
And anyone can do this. So honestly, Gamma is free. Here's Gamma. It's gamma.app, and this is my account. Okay. Create with AI. All right. All I'm going to do now, you have different options. Like, let's say you did go in there and you did some edifying, and you put it in a PDF file. You can upload a PDF file. For this, I'm just going to do a paste. I'm just going to paste that entire thing in there. Okay. There it is right there. All right. You have options of presentation, web page, document, or social. I like social when I'm taking maybe a big document and I want to break it down and do some social media posts, maybe in my consulting business. I'll pull up a PDF or maybe the latest AI tools or something like that, and I want to make it look nice for social media posts. You can use that. Document is nice because you can send it to a client and it just looks nicer than a PDF document. It's a little dressier. You can have a nice background on it. It just kind of dresses things up a little bit and it makes it look more professional. You can also create web pages with it and then presentations. I'm actually using the Gamma presentation today. So let me do this. Let's see, do I want to, this is actually new. What do you want to do with this content? Do you want to generate from notes or an outline? Do you want to summarize long text or document or preserve the exact text? I think what I want to do, maybe we'll go ahead and click this. Let's try this one. Because I don't think I want like, okay, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, because everything is right in that document. So let's see how this one works. I'm going to continue the prompt editor. Now it's configuring your prompt. All right.
Did you use Canva to create all your slides for today?
Yeah. I love it. Okay, so the free account, you automatically get 8 free cards. They're the same as like PowerPoint slides. You get 8 free. So it's suggesting 8 cards, but I have a paid account, so I can actually, I think I can go up to like 20 or 30, I don't know how many it is, but I'll just leave it at 8. So then I'm gonna click continue. See, it's got all my content in here, right?
It's free forms, it's card by card.
Card by card, that means I can edit it card by card, but I'm just gonna leave it for today. You can also, you can also select images here. They have different options. I'm just gonna use AI images, but you can switch this around. You can select stock photos, web images.
So do you have like folder file?
Yeah. But they have the default set. So we'll just keep it there. Image style, you can play around with this, but this kind of shows you the basics. Then I'm going to click continue. All right. Now it's going to give me some previews of different colored slides. You can just pick whatever color theme you want. Maybe the boss has a branding that he likes to use. You can actually put your branding in here. For this, we'll go ahead and, how about if we pick this one here? Now, I'm just going to click generate.
Did it default to the same number of cards, the same number of pages that came out of the outline for Copilot?
No, it's just it's just that you can change it. It usually defaults to 8, but I can add more. If I want it more detailed, more spread out. Does anyone ever use PowerPoint again?
No, Copilot will create a PowerPoint for you.
Yeah.
So it does. This is a different way of doing it. I haven't done it with this.
So there you go. You can go in here and you can edit the slides, you can change out if you don't like this image, and maybe you have your own branding, maybe your own company logo. There's all kinds of things you can do with it. But this is ready to go.
Did you, like what kind of slides, Google slides?
Yeah, you can import it. I'll show you in a second here. But here's
Yeah, it has some hallucinations there. And the images are like,
I like it.
no, it's like now you can go to the beach, right? So this is like just super easy, fast way to now create presentations. You put your content curated. Your curated prompt into ChatGPT. You ask ChatGPT to create your content for you. You copy and paste it into Gamma. You put it in Gamma, and you just edit it, take a look at everything, make sure everything looks good. You now have a presentation for your boss.
you part of like, what is this, AI group that gives you the certifications? Do you reference that? Or other people like, hey, check this out, tell me what you think? Or like, who's your, like, I guess, mastermind AI circle?
Yeah, good question. So, let me finish this real quick,
Okay.
and then, we can talk about that. So, I wanted to show you, so now you see what this, what this can do. Gamma, it's your new best friend. 3 is free. So, check it out. Check it out, and, those are some really easy, steps that you can do today, all right? We don't really have time to get into reverse prompting today, but that's another technique of prompting. Are you familiar with reverse prompting? You are? Okay. Okay. Reverse prompting, what share?
This isn't my class, so
Okay.
I'm just excited.
So, reverse prompting, it's really not being taught, okay? So, reverse prompting is, instead of putting something into ChatGPT like a general question, first you want to ask ChatGPT, who are the experts? Okay, so for example, let me show you something. I think I can show you. Got that done. All right. So, let me see. I think I even have some notes on that. Okay. So let's say you're looking for a an expert. We can even say dentist again. Let's say dentist. I'm looking for what might a typical. If you're looking for a dentist, what would your prompt be in ChatGPT? I'm looking for a dentist in then whatever area, perhaps.
Oh, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Me personally, because my preference is on referrals.
Then make a dental office.
It's emergency dental.
Okay, let's do that. I'm looking for emergency dental office in Mesa. Where's Mesa? Okay. So I return, let's see. Access on. I think I'm gonna put the web access on this. Okay, let's do that. And we're using version 4.0, because it's just quicker for demonstration purposes. It's been coming up for a while. Okay, so it's kind of like we're on Google, right? We got all these. That's what you're gonna get if you put in a general prompt. Now, let's do, instead of that, I am going to ask it, hopefully this works. Okay, who are the top experts? Who say dental,
Or the
who are the top 3? We want the top 3. Expert dental, emergency, right? Emergency specialists located in Mesa. Now let's see what it does. See, we're giving it more information. We're asking for only the 3 top experts. We're not being general. The other question was very generalized. This is more specific to what we're looking for. And we could even enhance this prompt. Like, okay, so Is this an adult? Is it a senior citizen? Is it a child? You know, we could even ask, you know, who are the top 3 expert dental emergency specialists for seniors or something. Seniors located. Okay, now let's see what it comes up.
Where do you, next time I ask another question, where do you get like your source of critical thinking ideology from? That's the important piece.
There's the 3.
Nice.
So we were giving the chat more information. The more information you can give it, the better output it's gonna have. So you can use that, that's considered reverse prompting. Rather than just putting general information in, your reverse engineering it. So now you can go right to these 3 doctors and you can make your calls and you can get their information, their pricing, whatnot.
I got a good tip for the business people here. If you're doing your market analysis, which I know you guys are doing for your energy startup, you can go to like Department of Labor, you can go get their API credentials for your account. You can put that in your own agent and then have it start mining that data, start building your go-to-market plan and your market segmentations.
I didn't do that part, but you have like Excel files and stuff you can download and just more or less upload.
So I hope you guys learned something today. It was helpful. That is about it for my presentation today. I will just say that some of your next steps will be, you know, develop an AI strategy. Make it real simple. Only 19% of firms really have a full strategy in place. So start to think about a strategy for your own organization and tie in AI to those initiatives. So those are some things that you can do right away. And then also start to test AI, start to test Gamma, start to play with ChatGPT, start to get some early wins and quick wins. And then set up some free accounts. So you can set up ChatGPT. I don't recommend the free one, at least do the $20 a month one. Gamma, you can do the free one to get started. But once you upgrade, it's only $20 a month. I mean, you really can't beat it. You do get 8 slides with a free account, and then you get quite a few more with the paid. It's $20, it's totally worth it. Perplexity, they have a free and a paid version. We talked a little bit about that. Fathom, they have a free and they have a paid version. Ideogram, I didn't get to show you the Ideogram or the Ideogram, but go ahead and play around with those. You know, those are cool. They have a free version and they have a paid version of each of those. Here is a video. All you do is you punch in a prompt and it's going to create videos for you. And then Ideogram, same thing. Here's Ideogram. You simply type in a prompt and it's going to create, you know, help you create some fun images for your content that you create.
What are the pricing points?
Those are, the Ideogram is a free version. You have so many tokens per month, and then the launch upgrade. But they're free right now. Thank you for coming.
Sorry, I didn't get going.
So those are a couple of tools that you want to maybe play around with if you're thinking about marketing and that type of thing. So that was about it. Here's my contact information if you want to reach me. I appreciate you guys coming. Really get you out there. And I am going to be having some workshops, probably starting next month, upstairs. So I will, if I have your contact information, I can make sure you find out how it's going to all work out.
Can I just contact?
Yes.
Yeah. And then, Ron, will you give everyone my card?
Yes.
Okay. Ron will. But thank you everyone for coming. I appreciate it. I hope everyone has a great summer.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, I'm good. I'll use
I think it just
We'll
depends.
probably make one for our website.
I think it kind of depends on like what your goals are, like do you plan on being. Yeah. Yeah. There's companies that do that. There's one company that they build, AI voice. Remember something?
I just wondered how,
Yeah.
So maybe
I'm not sure. I haven't seen that. Not to say it's not. Because something's coming up. Yeah. So are you using, well, you can direct it how you want to spend it. Yeah, you can even put in a sample. Yeah, I mean, you could even put in a sample. You could say, create a template for me, and then give it directions. And then you could create a project. And then put that template in a project. And then just say, okay, here's what I want in this template, you know, the content. And then it will automatically create it. Just take advantage of projects. It's really a great tool. Yeah. And custom GPTs are really great too. Custom GPTs, yes. You could ask chat to give you instructions. Yeah. You can ask chat basically anything. You know, it's pretty easy. Keep refining, keep adding your own knowledge base into it.
On the free version of Gamma, is it gonna take my data?
I don't
sort
know.
of this image.
I don't know.
I mean, if you put
Yeah.
enough prompts in your ChatGPT, then you just got,
Yeah.
now Gamma takes the.
Yeah. You know, I don't know, that's a good question. Maybe look at the terms and conditions of it.
Because we've all asked ChatGPT to make a
Yeah.
PowerPoint for us, and it sucks. Yeah. Right, you've asked.
Yes.
Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah.
It's terrible. And sometimes the PDFs or the documents that it puts together is bad, but ChatGPT is good. It's a powerhouse. I'm happy with the one that it is now. Obviously, every time it gets better, it's gonna be better, but.
Yeah, and use the O3 for anything deep thinking. Use that one. Yeah.
So now, is it true that ChatGPT, holistically takes like a download and like earlier this year, whereas Grok is like more new information?
You know, I haven't worked that out.
Unless you really,
Yeah.
okay, so the thing I don't like about Grok is when I ask a question, it's just like pages upon pages upon pages of stuff. It's just like, stop. I asked you one question. If I want to dig deeper, I will ask another question. You know?
Yeah.
So that's why ChatGPT, it just gives me like a quick, like 3/4 of a page, just here's your answer. Do you want to know more?
But I would say summarize. You know, don't, I don't want to summarize.
I keep on saying that's enough, you know? Like,
Well, you put that in your vision.
yeah.
Just say, just give me an outline.
Yeah.
Because even chat can do that. It can read things.
Yeah.
You know, so when you just say, it's almost a content.
Are you connected with ASU too?
Well, I give, I work with the CEI.
Okay.
Gateway.
Okay.
And I completely have to change all my materials because
Yeah.
going through
Yeah.
this.
So the reason I ask is, I'm an ASU student as well, and it is very like, I mean, you have to click and take these quizzes that are basically like, you are not going to use generative AI for any reason, for any class. It's just odd to me because when you go out into the real world and industry, you need to understand how to use tools. And you need to learn how to use tools. And I think that they're leaving something on the table here with
Yeah.
oh, I get that. I totally understand.
Education is behind it. Just in general, especially with AI, they're very like trained and things, but ASU, believe it or not, ASU is more progressive. I don't know if it's just like you or this professor.
It's like the whole industrial engineering division is very like, you are not anyway. And then when you sit there and decide it.
Taking your own hands, not your hands.
Yeah.
I guess that's what we teach.
Well, and it's.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. All right, well, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
So.
I do. Yeah.
Good. Good. How do you know how this?
But I usually, like, if you say, oh, I spell it out to you.
Oh, that's great, that's right.
Cause like, I don't.
So I have, well, see, the group I'm a
Okay,
part of,
there you go.
they have
Probably make
different
those,
certifications. And, right now, I do like second position of the AI consultancy.
Yeah.
They're actually doing like.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you guys.
That they do like every 2 months or something. But I love the community because everyone is in the same place. They all trying to learn, they all try to figure this all out, you know, so it could be a good fit for you.
You just gave like 2 solutions today.
Good.
Because I need to work on the onboarding materials.
Okay.
It was like, boom, personalized, boom. Thank you. And then I have to completely change the PowerPoint stuff for a variety of reasons, like, oh.
Now
You already have the PowerPoint, just put it in there.
That's something that you can say.
Like, boom,
Really?
2 major things are just something that's today. Yes.
Yeah.
Save you
Of course.
hundreds of hours,
Yeah.
then you go back to.
Every
Yes,
time you do
yes, yes, yes.
every time you do these things, you always pick up something new.
Yes.
Or events that her and I go to entertain the someone, it's like, hey, let's incorporate that in
I
there.
can tell you have trained that.
Oh, good.
It was really good.
Thank you.
In fact, I would really love to get in touch with you, and I would really love for you to get involved.
Of course, yeah. Now, when you get back from your vacation,
Yeah.
let's get together for
Like,
coffee.
can I help?
Save your
You
business.
seriously, like,
Save your business.
you seriously, like, help me figure out 2 things, like,
Thank you. Now you can enjoy your trip.
yes,
Have a little fun.
yes.
Enjoy the weather there.
Well, I was like, okay, how do I start with, like, how do I pull
Yeah.
some of these pieces
So-
together, so you just.
Keep in mind, we're also on real estate side too. So if you know
He's
anybody,
made it.
yeah, so if you know anybody, local, nationwide or international.
Yeah, he's in. Yeah.
We can help you with
What
that.
moves
Do you
what
know
you
the?
Yes.
Do you know the-
Yes. Absolutely. That's it. Yes. Yes.
Who's that?
What, do you know what, it's like real estate, like, there's still.
No.
I don't know what.
I just need to hear some of your brain. I'm probably like a basket. It's experience, not the experience.
Well, yeah, you're right, because.
Because now I know everybody.
Yeah, you're right, because you're young, but if you surround yourself,
Oh,
you know,
lies.
you know what I
Lies,
mean?
I know what's early. Yes, it's the police.
Yeah.
Because I find there is,
We're with.
Yeah. So are you self-employed or? Okay, and what is your? Oh, okay, what kind of work do you do again?
Oh, art media, entertainment.
Art media,
films.
okay, gotcha.
Then also it's motion, it's animation, so I do art bills, so that's where the real estate side of stuff has come to, medical organizations, right? And then also you find out a lot of these people who are like experts in the field, right? We're like, and the best at speaking in groups. So, I learned about so on that, I was like, hey, you have this idea, like, go around, you're the smartest kid you can do, like, just average person you won't understand.
Right. Do you ever go to Venture Cafe?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they had some storytelling,
They did, I remember.
yeah, they
But,
had some storytelling stuff.
for me, it's a different level of experience. Like,
Yeah.
Pixar, that's like,
Yes.
Sony,
Yeah.
all these top companies, it's like, sure.
Yeah.
Like,
Because we're.
like, I like what Arizona's like, is doing Venture Cafe.
Yeah, yeah.
It's Tuesday, next month.
Love the city,
Yeah.
probably more than the thing, larger visual effects.
Well, this is great, I'm so glad.
Okay,
University of Arizona.
oh,
It's not
nice,
University of Arizona.
okay.
But as far as like
All right.
consultant on, different
Yeah.
projects, say,
Thank
hey,
you very much.
check this,
Yeah.
this class.
Yeah, I mean,
This engineering prompt I did.
most people just aren't prompting, they're not prompting, right? And then they wonder why, oh, it's not giving me what I want. Well, it's because you're not putting in the content.
I can tell you've done training. It was really good.
I wonder about the critical thinking.
I gotta,
Okay,
All right, see you later.
Stay trapped.
nice to see you
And
again.
get rest.
yes,
Chill
chill.
out.
Chill out.
Chill out.
Yeah.
Chillax.
Have a safe
For a
trip.
little bit, just a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know, I guess my mom was a teacher and a preacher, and my dad was a chemical engineer and worked on computer chips and wafers.
Oh, really?
I don't know why, so I have a lot of.
Hey, did you check our car? Make sure we get to. Did you check our car? Make sure we get to.
But, I just wonder, like,
2 o'clock.
critical thinking, you know,
That's so important.
it's everything.
It's 10, 80, 10. 10% in the front is human in the loop, right? 80% sandwiched in between
Yeah.
is AI.
Yeah.
10% on the back end. Think of human in the loop as bookends.
Right,
And you've got AI in the middle. So critical thinking, that's what's required.
Shining